welcome to my channel. Today we are going to do a ride along. I am on my way to work. I work at a hospital in Charlottesville, Virginia, and I work in registration. It is not my end game type of job, because yeah, it's just not the move. It's the move for now, but it's not the move like forever. This is my first YouTube video I've ever done, so please do not roast me too much. I promise I will get better with it. I have been wanting to do a YouTube channel for the longest time, but I just didn't think that, you know, I could do it. I mean, I felt like I had the personality to do it, but like, as far as like really getting out there and putting myself out there to do it, I was a little nervous about. Really nervous about it. So anyways, I'm going to work now. Tonight I have to work a 3 to 3. So if you're not familiar with what registration does, it basically entails, you know, you going into people's rooms, and well, I work in the ER first off, so I go into people's rooms and make sure all the demographics are up to date, collect co-pays. Sometimes I feel like I'm a therapist because, you know, I've been told I have that face that, you know, you kind of like unload all your problems to. And, you know, I don't mind it because I'm very chatty anyways, but, you know, you meet all different types of people, all walks of life and stuff like that, and you know, my job and stuff like that. But, yeah, I mean, like, I'm good at my job, I will say that, but it's just long term, I just do not see myself doing that. Y'all ever work a job and y'all like, well, first off, you ever work a job and people are a little bit older than you there, and you're like, how the fuck did y'all stay there in this job for 15, 20 plus years? How do you even make it to 5 years? Like, because like you're thinking in your head like, okay, this might be just a job I'm doing just to get to a certain point in, you know, in my career, or I'm just doing this job just for the time being because, you know, I need extra money, or whatever the case may be. But you be looking at other people and like, these people really like settle, you know. And it's no shade, you know, towards anybody that wants to be in registration, or just in general, like no shade towards anybody that wants to stay in a job, you know, that you might not necessarily want to stay in. But it's just so like bizarre to me sometimes when I talk to people at my job. I'm like, you've been here 15, 20 years, like why would you stay? I don't know, why do you want to stay here? Do something else, you know. The hospital's a big world. You can go to different departments, find something else to do, you know. I don't know, I don't get it. I really don't. I don't fucking get it. But yeah, so back to like, you know, what registration does. So part of it is going into rooms and stuff like that, but other part of it is basically you have to work the desk too. Working the desk is not a bad thing. I personally like working the desk, but unfortunately on Mondays they suck. And the main reason why they fucking suck is because everybody thinks in their mind, well, I'm not gonna say everybody, but some of these people out here be like thinking, all right, I'm not gonna go to the hospital over the weekend because, oh, like it's gonna be packed, or I'm good, I'm gonna keep, you know, grilling out or hanging out with my friends, doing whatever the fuck I want to do. I'm gonna wait till Monday and go in, because nobody goes in on Mondays. Everybody piles up in the ER on Mondays. Mondays are the absolute fucking worst to work in the ER. Absolute worst. And people are insane. I had a guy last week that came in. He didn't really speak like much English. which was fine or whatever. He didn't really speak much English, but I could understand like what he was like coming in for. So like I was asking like, hey, like what are you coming in for? What's going on? First off, let me backtrack, because first off, this dude gave me an ID, right? It said, I never seen an ID like this before, but it said something about it being first and last name or whatever. But then below it said like another first and last name, like preferred name. I think that's what it said. And I was just like, what the hell does this mean? I never seen an ID like that before. So I was kind of confused as to why it said that. Like it just didn't make much sense. So I took his ID, I scanned it in, and then I asked him, I was like, hey, like, what are you coming in for? And he proceeds to tell me, like, he's like rubbing his back and so I'm like, you have back pain? He's like, lower. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, what kind, like back here in front, like where's the pain at? So he tells me it's like lower, and I'm like, is it like a boil? Because I was thinking in my head, like my brother had a boil on his back like a long time ago, like on his tailbone. So I'm thinking that's what he was trying to describe to me. He's like, yeah, like a bump. And I was like, okay. So he like proceeds to try to unbuckle his pants, take his pants off, and I'm like, oh, I don't need to see it, just tell me where it is. And he's like, here, lower. And I was like, okay. So I'm thinking maybe it's like on his ass, like his ass cheek or whatever. I'm like, it's gotta be there because that's where he's pointing to. So I'm typing it, I'm just like doing my job, typing in, you know, boil or whatever on like back or what, I forgot what I typed in. I just put boil or something. I turned my head away from this dude, look back. This dude is taking his pants off, y'all, whole ass in my face. Like, I was like, hold on. I was like, I said, I got it. He put his whole pants and whole ass in my face. Saw like in between the crack of his ass, he had a big ass, like pimple or boil or cyst or whatever the hell it was. Something I didn't need to see. So I was like, okay, so you can put your pants back on. I was just like, oh my gosh. And meanwhile, across from where I'm sitting at, security's sitting there. And of course, you know, they're in their own little fucking worlds. That's another thing about working registration or just working in ER period. Depending on what shift you work at where I work at, the security is straight ass. Like, you might as well, if something serious happened, you might as well like hide under the desk at that point, because every bitch for themselves at this point, because they literally are a waste of space, worthless. So this particular day, usually I actually had a good like team, okay? So they just weren't paying attention. I think they was taking a call or something. So I went in the room and I was like, I knocked on the door, and then I went in the room and I was like, yo, like, did y'all not see that? They were like, what are you talking about? I'm like, dude just straight showed me his whole ass, not just the cheek, both cheeks, whole ass. And I'm like, y'all didn't see that? Oh, we're gonna have to look back on the camera. I was like, oh my god, always, it never fucking fails. But I get stuff like that every once in a blue moon. Like, most people are like pretty chill, but like occasionally like people can be like assholes. I'm usually pretty like, I'm really easy to get along with. I kind of go with the flow. I mean, I have stuff I'm anal about at my job or with my job or whatever, what my job entails, but for the most part I'm pretty like go with the flow. But occasionally, you know, you do get shitty ass people that come in there that expect you to drop every fucking thing that you got going on to accommodate them. And it's like, yo, like, you're coming in here for vomiting and you've been vomiting for like 2 hours. You fucking got a virus 9 times out of 10. I should know. I was a sickly child growing up. I stayed sick, stayed having viruses. Any type of shit that you could think of, I had when I was a fucking kid. Like, I had everything. Was always sick. My brothers, my 2 older brothers, never got sick. And if they did, it was like a cold, you know? Or they like threw up and they were good. It was always like I was at the shit end of the stick when it came to being ill. So I know what a virus looks like because I've had enough of them to know. And these people come in here and they're like, oh, I'm vomiting. Like, let me call the rescue squad because I'm fucking vomiting. Hard tax dollars at, what is the term? I'm like sounding real dumb right now. That's what I get for trying to talk shit. Tax dollars hard at work. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, they call the rescue squad for fucking vomiting and dental pain and shit like that. I'm just like, y'all just waste these people's time, you know. I could see if you're vomiting, don't get me wrong, I can see if you're vomiting for days on end. Like, you can't keep anything down. Totally understand that. Sympathize with that. Even if it's a day, like if you've been vomiting for the whole day and you can't keep anything down, fine, you know. But you vomited for 2 hours and you come into the ER and you want to be seen for IV, probably an IV and some Zofran. That's probably all you're gonna get. It's just crazy to me. We got real people coming in here for, you know, strokes and heart attacks and, you know, all kinds of shit. And, you know, they want you to drop everything and to bring them back because they are vomiting, you guys. Or they vomited 2 hours ago. They haven't vomited not once since they got here. But they want to be seen because, you know, they're in so much pain. Their stomach hurts, blah, blah, blah. Totally understand, like I said, because I've had those, you know, viruses and illnesses before. But it's like, dude, come on. You know, people are so self-absorbed and don't care about anybody else. And it's just insane to me. You know, they'll get mad because you took somebody back. I have old people sitting out there with chest pain and whatever, and they'll take them back first because obviously their priority, if their, you know, EKG is abnormal, you know what I'm saying? But these people would get so mad if you took somebody that was priority over them vomiting or them needing stitches or whatever the case may be. It's insane to me, like, that these people really exist. Like, these, y'all, I cannot fucking stand when dumbass people, I'm on the highway, when dumbass people have all this room to get over into the left lane, okay? I'm pretty sure they've driven this street plenty of times. And yet they wait to the last fucking minute to either get over or they don't get over at all. I mean, are you trying to kill me or not? That's a huge pet peeve of mine. Or they like fly up the fucking street. You know I'm merging onto the fucking highway and they just fly up the damn street. And I can't even get over. These people, I don't know what's going on. I wish I could see this shit. Like, it is a hot ass mess over here in the left lane. Anyways, so basically, to end my rant, I just don't like when people think that, I'm not saying that you're not important, don't get me wrong, but just think about how there are people dying in the ER. People are losing loved ones. You know, people come in there thinking that they're going to be good in a couple hours and they end up dying, you know. I've had maybe, like, I've only been there since July, so I've had a couple people, maybe like 2 or 3 patients that I've had to register that have passed away. And it's sad as shit. Like, you know, I try to get to them when I know that they're coming in and they're like a critical patient and, you know, you don't know if they're going to make it or not. So I try my best to get them registered before shit hits the fan, you know. Sometimes you can't, you know, you can't prolong it, but I try to give, you know, because obviously I can't get like the actual patient registered sometimes. Oh, let's move over into this lane without a signal at the last minute. Cool. Sorry. So you obviously sometimes can't get people registered, you know, as soon as they come in, because they're critical. You know, you got to get whatever you need to get their ass to where they need to go, you know. So you have to register with the family sometimes, and you know, it's really sad sometimes because, you know, the family's distraught, they're upset, and it's unfortunate, you know. It's really sad that stuff like that has to happen. I mean, everybody has to go, but at the same time, it's like, you know, it's sad. It doesn't make it any easier. I actually had one guy whose wife he found on the floor, their house, and she went into cardiac arrest, and they brought her to the hospital. She did okay, like, you know, they got her there in time. The husband was so sweet. You know, I got her registered with him, but he was crying the whole time while I was, you know, asking to make sure everything was good, like her demographics, her insurance was up to date, all that jazz, and made sure everything was good. And he kept apologizing to me, like, because he kept, you know, crying in between the questions I asked him. I was just like, don't apologize, you know. You know, you're doing the best you can. And I started tearing up, and I was trying my best not to, you know, because I'm trying to be professional, but at the same time, you know, you're only human. But it's just so sad, you know. And they ended up getting her to a room, got her situated. They called a code blue on her when they moved her to the actual floor, because we heard it, because I knew what room she went to. So I was like, oh my God, like, me and my coworker were like, oh my God, you know. They had her stabilized, and then, you know, we were freaking out. We were like, oh my God, this lady's gonna die, you know. So once they called the code blue, we, you know, we're not supposed to, but we checked, you know, we checked and looked at the room to see if she was, you know, still here, and they brought her back, so she was fine. But when I came to work the next day, I checked, because I remember her name, because I thought about that lady and her husband all night. I checked the room number on the computer to find out, you know, if she was still okay. She passed away overnight by the time I came to work, and it was just sad, you know. You get stuff like that every once in a while, and it's sad, you know. And it's crazy because we have to do like Medicare forms, and Medicare forms are basically like, you know, like your rights as a Medicare patient, what they cover, what they don't cover. And you know, a part of that also is like how to appeal a discharge. So like if you feel like you're being sent home too soon type of thing, like you can appeal it through Medicare and, you know, request more time. And it's crazy because we still have to send them out even if they pass away. So it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of weird. I don't even know the right word to even use for that. But yeah, it's weird. So that's my job in a nutshell half the time. Just added a little bit of a road rage to the spice, to a little bit of road rage to the mix today for my little ride along. I do have road rage, y'all. Like, I have road rage bad, and it's terrible. Today it is beautiful outside, and once I start doing a little bit more videos, y'all will start to get to know me a little bit better, and y'all will understand how much I despise summertime, because it is freaking humid in Virginia in the summer, and it's unbearable. But you guys, I just arrived at work. I hope you all enjoyed my ride along. I hope you enjoyed the fact that this was my first video. Let me know how I did. I would love to do more videos like this. And please, please, please comment. I love when people comment and I get to talk to them, which is the main reason why I'm making this YouTube channel, is because I love chatting with people in the comments from all over the world. So please comment, subscribe, enjoy, have a great day.